Hey guys, it's DracoHomicida here with my good buddy.
Fide here, casting as always. We've got an interesting team makeup at this point. We have a Trundle, Gangplank, Vayne, Blitzcrank, and Nocturne against a Lee Sin, a second Blitzcrank, Ziggs, Warwick, and Jarvan. This team comp is pretty balanced. It doesn't look like we're seeing any too much AP or AD. It certainly should shape up to be a pretty even match.
Yeah, although Jarvan could just turn that power right around on them. Could make all the difference with that ultimate of his. Although that GP could pose problems as well.
The team, just for those, since you can't see with the custom game screen, most of these players are level 30, so it should definitely be seeing some advanced tactics here. We shouldn't be seeing any need for just like early game ganks. I think it will be pretty evenly matched. However, we should all note that Ziggs is still broken at the time of this recording, and they have released the patch notes, haven't gotten quite around to patching Ziggs yet, so if Ziggs takes mid, as a Zigg usually would, this could be quite interesting for the blue team.
Yes. Indeed, and see here. I bet we're going to see Vayne going mid on the other side. She does have that teleport.
Actually, it's quite interesting that Nocturne and Lee Sin both have Smite, because generally in these matches, those, especially Lee Sin and Nocturne, would want to go for kills, being more of an assassin type AD sort of champion. But having that Smite may mean that they've got some other tricks up their sleeve that they either don't want the team to know about, and it's a feint, or they just know what they're doing more than we do.
Which is completely possible. But
yeah, this is very true.
Lee Sin jungle is not that uncommon, and that is what Smite usually indicates. And although I have not seen Nocturne jungle before, but that may be a first for me. Huh?
Well, hopefully he doesn't get knocked out for that ping. But
that could hurt.
If so, if he doesn't, then this would definitely be a fair game. But without Nocturne, they are at a serious disadvantage, because Vayne can work as their carry, but they really do need an assassin to deal with both Warwick and Lee Sin.
Yeah.
And Ziggs, because his ability power transfer rate is so high at this point, he could be a serious problem and pose as an assassin as well.
Yes. Although his lack of speed could pose issues to that fact.
Which is why Nocturne should have little trouble dealing with him.
Yes.
If played correctly, of course. Just waiting on the game to begin.
Yep. Everybody's loaded up, and well, I don't actually. There we go. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
So.
Pointing out the same thing that we found about the early jungling, looks like Purple is going to do a very aggressive tactic, which is to steal the other team's blue buff to give them a considerable mana advantage in the beginning of the game. It's generally not seen, with the exception of high-value players, because they've been the only ones around that have seen this work effectively. Now, it really all depends on who's going to go get it, because say if Lee Sin's going to go get it with his Ignite, that's obviously not going to help Lee Sin very much.
I think you mean Smite.
So it's kind of surprising. Well, true. Smite. Details. It's just English. Whoever speaks that language.
Yeah, I know, right? English is so overrated. Although it looks like they are not going to be stealing the blue buff. Steal the blue buff.
At least not at this point.
Yeah. I can't
But then again, since it hasn't spawned yet.
Well, yeah, but they would normally wait in, say, the bush. Or by the river, if they were
actually
going.
Well, looks like we have some ragey purple players, and a pretty, let's just say, tenacious blue player. So for all of you people who like an entertaining troll once in a while, I would definitely recommend reading the chat.
Yes. Appears to be. And minions have spawned, and we are waiting for the blue buff to kick over. There's the blue buff. And Blitzcrank steals the blue buff from Lee Sin, pulls it right over the wall. Nocturne's getting their blue buff. Looks like Lee Sin has got...
Oh, there we go. Good job, Nocturne.
Nocturne got the blue buff first. Lee Sin got it second. And Nocturne is first to 2.
It looks like that the junglers will be this, almost in a sense, the carries of this game. Even though it's pretty too early really to be calling this. But Lee Sin can definitely pose as a carry assassin, which is in of itself an interesting build, simply because it's unorthodox. Because if your carry is leading in kills, that means that your carry can make more kills, but you can still end up losing the game, so it's still a pretty risky maneuver. But then again, it also has a high benefit, so it's generally worth the risk, and I think that's why they're putting them as junglers at this point.
Okay, Ziggs is just barely out-leveling Vayne here. Not by much, though. Just a few XP points. And bottom lane, they are going to have an issue with that Warwick, because he is a little bit behind in leveling. Although top could be fairly interesting, because Trundle is out-leveling... Okay, well, was out-leveling, Jarvan, but again, not by much.
And the team comp on the bottom is definitely going to be interesting with both Blitzcranks and... Oh, there goes First Blood.
Did not see that one coming,
Very
although...
close on that.
I probably should have. His team congratulating him. And the other team not so congratulatory.
Warwick is certainly going to have to fill up to his true role, because with Gangplank usually goes with a crit build for obvious reasons, because he can do a lot of undamage, almost in an uncanny way.
Ow!
So Warwick really is going to have to get that lifesteal up to deal with that.
Yeah. Just having a dagger.
Now Vayne also knows...
Blitzcrank coming back down, and Jarvan and Trundle just beating on one another.
Vayne knows at this point that Ziggs is still going to be a very heavy-hitting champ, which in a way this is very good for Vayne, because
gank on
they can...
We just had a gank there that went off without a hitch, resulting in the death of Ziggs.
Certain advantage of a jungling assassin.
Indeed, especially one of such power, as it were, of Nocturne.
And Vayne having good dodge abilities will make her a very good mid-lane champion, especially against someone like Zig, simply because Zig really relies on how good his or her summoner can land the skill shots. Without those skill shots, he is not an easy champ to play as. Fortunately for those who play as him, most of them are area of effect.
Indeed.
However, Vayne can still dodge those, and that's where Ziggs is going to have an issue.
And looks like Blitz is going to go down again on bottom. Oh, and yeah, that's going to cost him his life, probably, unless that mana barrier can save him. Which it does not look like it. Oh, and down he goes. Vayne has moved up to the top lane to aid, which is a little bit surprising. Whoa!
Bottom certainly turning out to be a one-sided engagement.
Yeah, although that...
And this is where Ziggs is really
and incoming the Ziggs bomb! Taking out GP.
Will this be a double kill?
Not
Most
quite.
likely not, simply because Blitzcrank can move pretty fast, especially when he wants to.
Not much really happening top lane, and Vayne is coming down the river straight into Ziggs. Almost.
It appears they both know that an engagement's imminent.
They both know the other one's there, but they're just waiting for reinforcements if possible.
Looks like Lee Sin might see this coming, even though he is busy
Oh!
jungling at the moment.
And Vayne is gonna go down, it looks like.
Nocturne trying to come in and provide some assistance,
There
but
goes
didn't
Vayne.
quite get there fast enough. And Ziggs might just be able to escape here, but that fear was played awfully
and
well.
there
and
goes
down he goes.
Warwick taking bottom tower.
Another big danger for Patfozilla.
Oh, and
Gangplank.
whoa, we've got a Blitzcrank in the jungle fighting Nocturne. Double flash. And Nocturne just gets out. And he's going back in! Down he goes.